What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loop Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth.
I'm Josh.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And quick reminder to play Windward, our game of the month, and Darksiders 2, Kung Fu Panda. Both are for free on PlayStation Plus. Play those, come back at the end of the month for Plus Club. We'll be talking about our experiences with them. Let us know yours. And so before we get into the PlayStation Experience 2017 news that we got, real quickly, we got some things changing with the channel. Nothing too crazy, but I'll let Chris kind of take it from there.
I am moving away, and quite a distance away, so I will be moving to San Diego from the current residence of Washington in So it's a bit of a drive.
Fucking
but
doxing us. He's running away and let everybody know our fucking address.
Here's the address for where we film. But so my brother asked me to move in with him and his wife, so it's kind of an opportunity for me to get out and do new things because I have nothing other than the channel really holding me back. But sure. I will try to make an effort, a great deal of effort, to still be on the channel.
Yeah, and speaking for the channel, Chris is very important to the channel, as is everybody else on the channel. So him not physically being here in the studio, we are going to make efforts to do things online. Maybe start doing a live show every week, and have him through Skype or Google Hangouts or whatever. So nothing really is going to change, but if he's not around for like the first week or two while he's gone, we're figuring out. So if you have any suggestions, let us know, because this is all new to us too. But nothing really big's changing. He's just not going to be sitting there, which I'm going to get lonely and cold without him. So unless there's anything else we got to throw out there about that or anything else, nothing. Okay. So anyway, we typically cover random news topics for Taste Tuesday, but PSX just happened, and it's kind of a slow fucking nothing really big came out of it, which kind of sucks. But we're going to be going through all the highlights of it and discussing it. So bear with us. So let's get into it. First part of PSX in the highlights is there's VR upgrades to games. So Wipeout Omega Collection, which already exists, is receiving VR upgrades. They're being well received. And if you don't know what Wipeout is, it's kind of a hover vehicle racing game that's been out forever. And Last Guardian is getting a standalone VR game that I believe I read is supposed to be free, which would be kind of crazy. What do we think about two games that already exist getting VR upgrades?
I do know that Sony has been pretty aggressively pushing VR stuff.
Which I love.
Which is pretty much what I was gonna say. Is I'm glad they're not just like, well, we made it, now it's up to everyone else to take advantage of it. It seems like they're actually like trying themselves to do it as well. So and that's awesome. I that's a technology that needs to be pushed in order to grow, essentially. So.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% on that, just because we're all enthusiasts of VR, but to see the companies that can let this thrive or die, seeing them aggressively going like, hey, we got new shit coming out for this is awesome. Any opinions on any of those two things? Are you excited to play either of those, or
probably Wipeout out of the two? So.
Yeah, I actually haven't played The Last Guardian at all. I wanted to play, but I want to buy it because I'm a piece of shit. And so if there's like a standalone VR game that's free, I don't know if it is free, but I believe I read that. I'm definitely going to check it out. And if I like that, maybe I'll pick up the game itself. So it'd be kind of a cool way to advertise for a game that took so long to come out, so it didn't sell as well as they wanted to, I'm assuming. Josh, Chris, anybody?
Wipeout, I'm familiar with the series. I never played them though. But I know they are part of that Hyper Racer kind of bunch of games that came out in the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 era. So seeing that in VR would be pretty intense. I think you can get up like 600 miles an hour or something. Those damn things.
Reminds me of those old 64 games of just flying through tracks.
You can get
loops.
Yeah. So that'll be, I think, really cool. Again, with PlayStation or Sony, it's always really pushing their VR, like you said. So that's always good to hear. It's not just like, here's the VR thing. That's it. It wasn't like Kinect with fucking Xbox. Kinect failed because there wasn't.
There was Just Dance.
Yeah, they didn't move it enough. So
like the PlayStation move.
Really good to see VR getting the support it needs, to make sure it's an actual contender for the peripheral market. The Last Guardian's gonna be really crazy. See that dog chicken thing in like up close,
The old
and
chicken
you can,
puppy.
you can all like look. You can look at it, and that game has a lot of crazy vistas, and you're always really high in these ruins and stuff like that. So being able to actually check it out and look at everything in detail is gonna be pretty neat.
Getting dropped and getting fucking caught by him and shit. It's gonna be dope.
I think it's needed. Well, my experience with PlayStation VR is when it first came out, so I haven't played it since they've done any. If they've done any updates to it, if they haven't, then I personally think this is a much needed update. In comparison to the other VR out there, it was pretty low on the spectrum for me. It was kind of filmy. There's a lot of motion sickness with it. So it's nice to see that they're working on it. I would say Wipeout is probably the game I would get for it, only because I heard like The Last Guardian, like we've said, was anticipated for a long time, took forever to come out. When it did come out, I heard it didn't get very good reviews, and it wasn't a very fun game to play, and it was just kind of not what people were expecting of it. So this might be like they're kind of like money grab to make up for lost funds that they had on it. But you just really have to wait to see on that one. But it's definitely not something that would be piquing my radar.
Yeah. Yeah, the Wipeout one, like, I think will be fun, but, because I have games for Vive that are already kind of like that, indie-made ones. That one's a safe bet, but Last Guardian, that's the one I'm really curious about. Yeah, so another bit of news that came out of PSX, God of War is going to be coming out next year, and it's going to be 25 to 30 hours to complete it. On top of that, since I'm just going to bunch up some of this news, it was hinted that they are working on a way to be able to change your PSN name. When the guy was asked if this is ever going to come up, he said, hopefully by next PSX, I won't have to answer this question for you. So they're looking into it. They said it's something they want to do, but that it's technically complicated. What do we think about God of War's completion time to beat the game and PSN name changing?
So for like open world games like Witcher and stuff like that, they always tout like 80 to 100 hours and stuff like that. But this is like a narrative driven third person game following in like the God of War kind of footsteps. So seeing it be this long is actually kind of awesome for me, because I remember the old ones, they maybe breached 10 hours if I remember correctly. So seeing this one and how much time they're actually putting into it and kind of the new direction they went with it, that's exciting for me. I mean, it's just, more bang for my buck. So I really can't complain, and I'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm almost the opposite of you in this, just because 25, 30 hours is like good in the sense of like if you value that for money that you're spending on a game. But for a game like this, I almost feel like that's going to be a really long time to be playing a game that has a storyline that's kind of like it's like if you play like The Last of Us and it was like 30 hours long. I would love this because I love The Last of Us, but I couldn't imagine being there in that game for that long. There's certain games that I almost feel like keeping them a little more compact is good, but it's to each their own. There's no right or wrong in that kind of situation. RPGs make sense when they're that long, just because there's a lot of systems in place you got to go through, change out your inventory and what's equipped and level up multiple characters and all that shit. So that's going to be part of the runtime, also reading shit. But in a game like this, I don't know, because it reminds me of like Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto is always really hard for me to beat outside of 5, just because the way they're structured, it takes me fucking forever to keep going through the game, because you got to drive from here to there, you got to do all this stuff. I lose interest and I stop playing it. I play the game for a long fucking time, but never beat those games. So a game like this, I think it's cool for certain people, but for me, I almost am worried it's too long. It seems like it's about 10 hours longer than I would like it to be. But I don't know, I haven't played it. I just know 30 hours is a long time to ask for me in certain types of games. So
I think it's right around the right amount of time for me. Because even like Nier Automata, it's about 40 hours to do the entirety of it. So I don't know. I think it is a mix of is it going to be too long for the story they're telling? I think the bang for the buck is a good price point for a story-driven game.
I just don't want to dilute the experience of the story if like a lot of that time is like fucking hunting for something
Right.
to proceed through the game, or like talking to everybody in a town to proceed. Like I don't know what's going to be in a game like this, the aspects that's going to keep you playing it for that long. So I
Right.
can't imagine there's going to be like, I don't know.
I don't know. I think if they keep it in the same vein as something like Nier, or even we'll say like Horizon Zero Dawn, or I think 25-30 is not asking too much. So
Yeah.
It's nice to see that this game is getting a little more love, because the other ones personally are not my cup of tea. Just how they play and how the story goes out, but from the gameplay videos that we've seen so far, this looks really interesting, and the fact that they've put more time and more time, gameplay time wise, in a story-driven game like this, can be nice. But like you said, it can kind of wear on people if that's not what they're expecting or looking for. Personally, I'm not gonna have any time to play this game because all my time is gonna be dedicated to Monster Hunter. So
Yeah.
this is gonna be rough, but it's nice for those of you who are God of War fans who are looking for a more deep narrative. I think this probably will provide if it's that long. And to segue into the name changing features, I have been wanting to change my PSN name for so goddamn long. And their reasoning before they always said was that if you change your name, if they allow the name changing, then the system they have implemented for like reporting players for griefing or harassment becomes convoluted, because then like you could harass someone and just change your name, even though you could just be like, well, this person harassed me. They look up the name and it's like, oh, they just changed their name to this. It's not hard to do.
It'd be in the system, and you probably have to pay money to do it. So like,
Exactly.
how bad are people gonna want to do that? So yeah, it seems like something that should have been out a long time ago. I'm not gonna hold it against them too much because I don't know fucking how difficult it is for them to do, but I think it'd be good to have just because I know Xbox has had that forever.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say that
Yeah.
they've had it since the 360. I've changed my name like 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
even
360.
Blizzard has it.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. This is really kind of crazy. They don't have it at all, but I hope they do get it soon, because I'm sure this dude's sick of hearing about it, and I'm sure they want to offer that. They have their reasons, and if they're charging for it, it just makes them more money anyway. So I mean, like, it's just kind of weird.
I'll say something I also have been wanting to do, because I set mine up as a login style, like username type thing, not like as a screen name that I would want to use. So it looks awful.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would use this if they can get it going. As far as like the reasoning you had said, I call bullshit on that, just because they can literally attach a number that the consumer doesn't ever see to attach to the account, like Steam does. It's an account. You can change your username. It doesn't matter your display name, but you still have a username.
Right.
Which is attached to your email and all
Yeah.
that shit, so they can track all the shit you've done.
Yeah. So
I forget my Steam name all the fucking time.
So do I.
It's just
I don't remember
because
who the hell you are on there.
I only think of my fucking my username on Steam, not what they have me as, because it's something that was fucking years ago when I made it.
Yeah.
So
yep, and people, the year thing is exactly it. People grow up, they change. They don't want to be known as like Weed Lord 420, for example. So,
XX Weed Lord Killers
Yeah.
XX.
it's fucking legal here, man. It's not cool anymore.
But you're excited for that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I might use it.
I think I might dabble. Just gonna change my name every week. Fucking waste my money. So they showed off some games, not a whole lot, but we got 4 trailers to watch. They're all pretty brief, and I know they also showed off that you will be able to dress your Palico in Monster Hunter World as Mega Man. So that's interesting. I don't know if we really need to have a conversation about that.
was expecting it.
It's cool.
They usually do that.
Yeah, actually, I'm not a huge fan of the design though, just because it looks like a Minecraft Mega Man, but whatever.
The last one you could dress it up as the dog.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Rush.
Yeah, you could dress your cat up as Rush and you dressed up as Mega Man, if I recall right.
Yeah. You gonna say something? No, you're not gonna say shit. Okay. Okay, so 4 trailers. First one is a game called Donut County. It's being made by the guys who did The Unfinished Swan, which is that white game where you shoot black paint and paint the world as you progress. Neat idea, but I could not play that game. And And yeah, there is a trailer right here. We're going to watch it. I hope I have sound. I do.
So what is this? Like, hole simulator?
It's kind of cool. You put trash in the hole and it gets
I love his
bigger.
little feet.
You know
Trash
what would be
pandas.
cool? If it actually ran at 60 frames per second.
Dude, it does. Look at the screen.
Does it have a platinum trophy?
I don't know. I just started.
Does it have a platinum?
So like,
Katamari.
what's the point?
Yeah.
There's puzzles. If you collect the kiln, the hole catches on fire.
Oh, sick.
Damn, he doesn't want to go down there.
Right?
What's up, dog? What's up, dog?
Bye.
Oh, bye.
Seriously, what's up, dog?
Snake danger.
Yeah, that raccoon is right in the fuck out of that thing.
It's got a chill, like indie vibe to it.
Yeah.
That seems like a cool idea. I mean, it seems like a smaller game you're gonna play for fun, and eventually it's gonna be on PlayStation Plus for free. But it's got a cool like vibe to it. I like the visual style of it. It's like you guys said, the Katamari Damacy thing kind of reminds me of something quirky like that. So I'll be interested in playing it. Not clamoring to get my hands on it though.
I wasn't a huge Katamari fan myself, so I don't know.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't like hate this or anything like that. I just kind of just completely disinterested. So
I thought it was neat. Kind of reminded me of something I played on my phone.
Yeah.
But I thought the trailer was charming, and it seemed like it had a lot of good ideas, like swallowing the kiln makes your hole do certain things, and in the end it showed like it launching something out of it to try and knock more shit into it.
Yeah, because I was kind of wondering like how interesting can you keep dropping things in a hole?
And it just
Like,
gets bigger. You're just looking for the smallest thing then, and then
yeah,
it just
you,
goes.
you gotta yeah.
I
You gotta
mean-
find some kind of way to make that interesting. So
So yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'll play it probably, but if it comes out near like another release of a game, I'm not gonna fuck with it. So
I actually probably will get this game because I really like these quirky, kind of cutesy games, just to like idly play in the background when I got nothing else to do. I like the laid back soundtrack to it. It's just kind of like relaxing puzzle solving, and this is definitely one of those types of games where I would like play until I get all of the achievements for it, and then I'm done.
yeah, it's definitely a game like that I would play, but I know once I stop playing it, I probably wouldn't return to it, just because it's like kind of one of those games that you just get in, get out, and
A one-off type thing.
yeah. But it's cool.
Yeah.
Next video of a game announced is Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, which is a cross game that will be crossing Blaze Blue, Persona 4 Arena, Under Night in Birth, don't know what the fuck that is, and RW
Ruby.
That.
Ruby.
And yeah, it's going to be a fighting game that's going to have a bunch of different people from different things. A lot of things I don't know anything about.
Ruby is Rooster Teeth's anime.
Yeah.
They have an anime?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so let's get into it. Let's watch it.
これも可能性かよ。なら全員ぶっ飛ばすだけだ。
That's Arc Systems work, man.
I wonder if there's just like one guy over in Japan that just like we're making a dice store. He's like, okay. He's like,
He just jams for like 4 hours.
we got a new fighting game coming out. He's like, okay.
The time to intersect is nigh. That's fucking scary.
Some aliens shit.
Hang on just a minute.
Oh.
Ruby Rod.
You can call me Ruby.
You can call me Ruby. Come on, man.
I mean, that's exciting for the guys at Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's cool for them. I'm just now finding out about
Oh, yeah,
this.
they had a fucking anime.
Yeah, it looks like an Arc System fighting game. It's interesting now that they've been kind of going into the 3D realm with Guilty Gear and now the Dragon Ball Z game coming out to see them with their more classical style. I almost forgot they did that. And yeah, it looks cool. I don't think this game's for me though at all.
I don't know the fucking characters, and like even like Blaze Blue.
Blaze Blue.
I only played the one for the 360, and I haven't played one since. So
Yeah, it was one of those games that they kept releasing like it was a brand new IP, and then every like 4 months they release a new version with a guy with a new hat.
yeah,
And then the next one come out and like a guy's got like a fucking new boot on.
They did it with Guilty Gear though as well.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
like 4.
But
of them
like
now.
my problem there, I was like, oh, that's Soul and that's Kai, and it's definitely not them. It's the Blaze Blue fucking characters,
Yeah.
Blaze Blue, and but yeah, that's the first thing that I thought is I was like, oh, that's Soul Bad Guy and Kai Kisuke from Guilty Gear.
They play completely differently though. But
Yeah.
yeah, visually like they're both red and blue, so it has that kind of parallel.
This looks like a game that's meant for fans of Blaze Blue, Ruby, Persona 4, and whatever the other one was. It's
Under Night and Birth.
yeah, that one.
Damn.
I really enjoy cross games like this, especially when you have like, you know, you can pick like 2 or 3 characters to fight with. Just because it's really fun to see the characters interact with each other and how well they can integrate the different combat systems that are involved in each games to make like some sort of like amalgamation of it. This is probably not something I will pick up though, just because I'm not a really big fan of any of the IPs in it.
Well, it's funny because like I'm probably like, and this sounds weird, but I'm probably like the biggest fan of Blaze Blue here because I actually liked it, and I'm not interested in this just because like the other 3 properties I don't have, and I'm not only do I not like have any love for them, I just am finding out about them now. So I mean like it's asking a lot for. I mean like you said, this is for people who love those things because now they got a fighting game made by an awesome company to play those characters. So that's cool for them, but like it's really interesting like that they're making all these different games and they got this on the side too for like it seems like a smaller demographic. So it's interesting, but I don't know how big those communities are for those. So it might be a huge game that we're just not.
I know Ruby's pretty popular.
Yeah.
And Persona, is a big series, whatever Arena is.
So Persona had a bunch of side games after. So they did Persona 4, and then they did like a dancing game where you dance as the Persona characters, and then they did a fighting game called Persona 4 Arena.
Yeah, so I mean, like that's cool for anyone who like played that game or likes Persona. So it's gonna have that art style. So that's neat. Anything else anyone wants to say on that topic? Next thing they revealed is that they are coming out with Medieval, or was it Medieval? How do you say that? Medieval, which was a game for PlayStation. Came out a long time ago. They're doing a remastered version of that, which is not really something I think a whole lot of people were like asking for, but I actually think it's kind of neat that they even are, bringing stuff like that back. Kind of bring something back for people of our age and people who never got to play it.
It was a claymation aesthetic game, right?
Kind of. It was kind of, yeah. It was, I don't know if it's supposed to be clay, but it was definitely like, I don't know, 3D lumpy looking. But there is a 50-second little teaser here if we're going to watch real fast, and then we'll talk about it. It's a third-person action game, though, where you played as a skeleton dude.
Dan Fortescue. Still remember that.
Yeah, that's impressive. So it's very much a fucking teaser. Yeah, I got a Scalavision. What about it?
Okay.
Okay.
Teaser for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a slight glimpse of lumpy 3D at the very end there.
Okay, so I was a big fan of Medieval. And it was like Wipeout. It kind of came out in that weird era of 3D platformers. I was like when Gex was getting fucking popular.
Gex.
And, Maximo. Maximus?
That was PS2.
I think it was Maximus.
It was Maximo on
Was it Maximo?
PS2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
PS2, and that was
that's
a
way later.
spiritual successor or something like that to Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking, so Maximo was more in the
Way
future.
after. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my bad. But it kind of follows the same vein. And I always enjoyed that game. I never beat it. I never got even super fucking far because I remember it being kind of suffered from that old school PlayStation cheesiness that, some of the enemies are just like guaranteed damage kind of thing. But I had really good memories with it. I forgot about it though until now. So obviously those memories weren't that good. But
Let's recount the memories that weren't that great.
yeah, I'd like to see where this one goes. I probably won't even pick it up because if I remember, that humor I think is gonna be super dated by now. It was very slapstick kind of comedy. Like, ooh,
I don't know.
skeleton.
I think that stuff kind of transcends though, because it was basic then. It's basic now. Like he's gonna be walking, he's gonna knock his head off, be like, "Oh!" And like back then, I don't think anybody was like, "Holy shit, that was fucking hilarious." Like just like now, I think they'd be like, "Yeah, he's a skeleton." My big thing here, though, not to cut you off, is the remastered aspect of it. It's gonna be in 4K. It looked like from the very brief glimpse we got at the very end there that it actually is going to be almost like redone remaster, because you remember this is a PlayStation game, so those were very, very flat pixelated 3D graphics. If you look at any games on PlayStation, the 3D back then was really basic 3D, and the textures were very, very fucking apparent on the
his
pixels.
legs were blue triangles, and then like it went down to a point at his ankle, and then his foot came from that.
Well, I mean, that was all PlayStation games back then. Like they all looked like really weird. So like, if they do like a full ass like remaster, redoing the models in the world, whatever, I think it'll actually be really fucking neat to revisit a game that, like you said, I feel like some people might have forgot about or didn't even know existed. So, and it might open the door for them to be able to make up more medievals now, or medievals, where the fuck you have call it. Even back then, I was like medieval. But yeah, I remember playing back then. It was okay. It was a very basic, run of the mill, third person action platformer feeling type game that a lot of games were back then. So like you said, Gex and shit. So it was a cool spot, but that was before.
That was also Genesis, I think.
Yeah.
I guess it's Super Nintendo as well.
Yeah, he's cool as fuck though.
Yeah.
Let's 7-Up rope a fucking mascot like that. Old bland ass soda has a dope fucking mascot.
I mean, it's cool. I like that. One thing I always kind of complain about is not being able to play my old games on my PlayStation 4. That's one thing I think Xbox does really well. I would love to have more access. Even my PS3 stuff that I bought on PSN, I wish I had access to. So like, I have Suikoden 2 on my PS3. I can't play it on my PS4. So I love them bringing old content, even in the way of remastering it. I mean, it's just kind of an extra treat. So I think it's just nothing but a good thing. Even if it doesn't get high sales, I doubt they're putting a lot of money into redoing it anyways. So
It's always nice, like you're saying, to see them redo older games. I'm just questioning how much clamoring there was for this game in particular. I don't remember it being super popular back in the day, even when it was first released. I remember seeing it and being like, oh, that's kind of interesting, but I was more interested in playing Tomba. And if they made a Tomba remake, I would be like at the store at midnight, like waiting to get my game.
I think that's also niche, though.
I'm sure.
I would actually argue that Tomba was more niche, but like all like the gamer types now are all like, you know, they were more into something like that. Whereas like Medieval, I feel like that game is so identifiable for anyone who was like around during that era and playing games, because you saw that case, everybody knows that game. So it was a very mainstream game that was probably bundled with PlayStations and all that kind of shit. I'm sure plenty of people played it back then, but it was just so kind of like run of the mill of what games were like already then, that, you know, it's just more so like visually identifiable. I agree 100% though with that whole like, you know, who wanted this. I think it's really everybody remembered that game. So some people might be like, oh, I remember that, I'm gonna buy it. I'm just I'll be more curious about when I can see it though. But
Yeah.
Tomba, that'd be fucking dope. I would love to see Tomba or Tomba 2
Yeah.
be remastered, even though they would just have to essentially the resolution. They have to change that pretty much and clean it up a bit and be ready to go. Yeah. So nobody's fucking needs this game. It seems to be the whole PlayStation experience, sadly. Last thing we're going to be watching is a new IP called Firewall Zero Hour, a PlayStation VR game. Is essentially going to be a 4-on-4 Rainbow Six Siege type game in VR. They have a video that's also 45 seconds. Man, they did a lot of really brief things. But yeah, it's a shooter, and we'll just watch the video.
Firewall Zero Hour. That's the full title. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, here we go. This is the first gameplay we're seeing of Firewall. Now, this is actually from the folks at First Contact Entertainment. They're serious shooter developers. This is a team-based 4v4 tactical first-person shooter. So, attack and defense on the two teams, and there's a huge amount of emphasis being placed on sort of the tense motions and movements. It's the pacing is very realistic. Peeking around corners here, we're going to see some of that here in the footage, but just a very early sneak peek for all.
I like you're
of
not
you here.
teleporting as
Firewall
well.
is
I like
coming
that
to
it's actually
PlayStation
movement.
VR. You'll be able to use either a DualShock or your PlayStation VR aim controller if you've ever picked up one of those with Farpoint or something like that. So this is
I'm one of the three.
I gotta say. Oh, it's
That was it.
Wow. Okay. Bye. Yeah. So pretty much exactly what you're gonna expect from a game like that. I'll just jump in. This is the most exciting thing I saw from PlayStation Experience, which is weird. I like shooters. I like VR. I like tactical shit. I like 4v4. I like everything there. This will be fun. The only thing I'm worried about is do we have enough people with VR, enough people with interest for this game that the community will be worth buying the game for? Is there going to be 50 or 100 people playing this game, and in 3 months it's going to be dead? That's something that scares me. If they put bot support in the game, I'll pick it up for sure because I want to be able to keep playing this game. But this is right my alley. This is exactly a game I want. I have like Onward on Vive, which is a military shooter like this. It's really fucking cool. And like I said before, I have that aim controller for PS4. One of the only people to have that. And because those things are just sitting around in Best Buy. And it's really cool. So another game for me to use that, or for me to be able to use that, that's another reason I'll probably pick the game up, because I want to buy every game that, all 4 games that use that controller. So any chance I can get to use that controller.
My biggest thing is, you think there's going to be like a disconnect between people with analog controllers and move and aim controllers, a lot like mouse keyboard controller kind of things. I mean, you're actually like being able to point the fucking gun around the goddamn corner. Of course, with VR, with the controller,
we don't know what the controls on the controller is going to be like, though, because if it's like Resident Evil 7, your head's going to be how you aim the reticle.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Which would be more fucked up. Because, they're going to kick everyone else's ass. Because in Resident Evil 7, you just look at the dude's head and you shoot. Yeah. I mean, it's easier than an analog could ever be. It might even be better than a fucking... If you configured it, like, good enough, like, it might even be better than a mouse. Like, I don't know. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was my only thing that kind of came up, is the difference between the two styles of controlling things.
Well, it could also just track the controller as well.
Yeah. So. Which is actually probably the most likely thing, because there's a bunch of games that will literally use the controller as your move. So that's probably literally it. Chevy fucking cracked the case.
I think it looks cool. I think VR needs this kind of stuff, to especially get people interested in it. I think it's a good idea as well, because competitive stuff is back like in a big way these days, and this is just a new way to play it. Anyone who has had a chance to get their hands on VR and like actually like be able to like shoot a gun or like drive a car or whatever, it is very immersive. So I don't know. Look, this is actually cool, and like you said, it's the best thing they showed off the whole.
Which is fucking
keynote,
crazy.
So.
Yeah.
I'm curious if
Speechless.
if does the PlayStation VR now track like the motion of the headgear that you're wearing? Can it do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was
That's
the only
why
thing.
it has lights.
See, it's been that long since I played with
Yeah.
one. That was the only question I had, because if it didn't, it would be very disconnecting from the gameplay if you have to press a crouch button to like pop up and down all the time. But since it does track the VR, I'm also kind of concerned, because there's a lot of cords involved with PlayStation VR, that if you're trying to like...
That's all VR.
Well, sure, but I'm just worried that like if you're
Not
trying
gear.
to aim and you turn real quick, you're going to jerk your
What's gonna happen? It's probably gonna play like most games on PSVR and like Farpoint and fucking games like Super Hot and stuff like that. Well, Super Hot, you're standing there, but like in Farpoint, you're using the analogs the same as you would play like a game. So you're gonna move forward, you're gonna move backward with the left analog. Left and right's gonna let you strafe. When you turn your head, though, it's gonna affect. So if you're strafing left and looking right, you're gonna get that turning sensation. And then the right one is most likely not going to control up and down because there's no need for that. Your head does that. But then the left and right on this one will allow your standing access to pivot left and right to turn. So you don't have to move your body. It actually works really well. So you can be turning left and like looking to the right as you're moving your body, which you can do in real life. And it comes natural. It feels really good. So if they follow that, it'll be fine. The only thing that sucks about PSVR is the technology is lesser than like the Vive or even the Oculus in the sense that it's taking the old technology of the camera and it's tracking your head movements plus the accelerometers in the helmet. So if you get out of the range of where the camera can see your helmet, you'll lose the motion. It can't track you anymore. Whereas the lighthouses and little things that the Oculus has is actually scanning where your whole body is in that whole area. Yeah, so there are some limitations like playing Super Hot. I'm trying to reach for a fucking pistol that's literally right there, and my controller's not tracking anymore. And I'm sitting there like, come on, fucking, just let me touch this fucking gun. Come on. And people are shooting at me. I'm just like, come on, give me the gun. It's right there. It's on the table. That's like the only downfall to like PSVR really is that aspect. But otherwise, if they follow the same thing as like Farpoint does, I think it'll be fun. I'm just, I just hope there's the community. I hope there's people to play it. Yeah.
Well, there's 2 million PSVR sold now, I believe. So,
which is awesome. That's quite a bit. So,
I just don't know. 70 million.
I just don't know how many people have those in their closets because they played it for a second, or they only play it every once in a while. They want to fucking hook it up, like me for months. I was just like, and now that I've hooked it up, I don't want to fucking unhook it because so my room just looks like the Matrix. There's just fucking headgear shit everywhere and fucking wires and stuff and neon lights. So yeah, I don't know how many of those people are going to even be like interested in that, but I hope there's a lot of FPS fans out there who have PSVR and want to play this because I want to play it. I want to play against people, and I think it'll be fun. Plus, the whole aspect of being able to like actually lean your body around corners just a little bit is awesome and works really well for games like this. Anything else anybody want to say about anything at all? No. Nothing? All right, let's know in the comments. What did you like at PlayStation Experience? Did you think it was boring like a lot of people are saying? Was there some standouts? Are you excited for Blaze Blue? Have you played any of the other games it's crossing with? What do you think about Firewall, Horizon Zero Dawn, Frozen Wilds, VR with the big chicken dog? Are you going to play any of that? Do you have PSVR? Do you want PSVR? Let me know. Just fucking talk to me. I'm real lonely right now with Chris leaving and it's bothering me. But that's going to do it for this episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr and Twitter, Tasty Loot Gaming. Check me out on Twitch, Sleep Division. Check him out on Twitch, Tasty Loot Josh, Tasty_fruit Chris. Check him out on Twitch. And if you miss any of the streams, they're uploaded to the channel. But as always, my name's Seth.
I'm Josh.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
Until the next episode, which will be this Friday, we're going to be talking about our games of the year. It's exciting. I'm still trying to figure it out as of shooting. We're about to shoot that next. So I'll figure it out. But until then, have a good week, guys, and take it easy.